It was unlike anything I'd ever read before, and I always think that's a good sign. I knew Patrick Lussier was very familiar with that process, and that process from scratch. I saw Clash of the Titans and I liked it a lot, and I liked the conversion as well, but I know Patrick is kind of a purist, and he likes to make 3D movies that are with 3D cameras, because he believes that the format is quite specific to the objects within the frame. And so he would even point out that the automobiles themselves have to be photographed in 3D to really appreciate the beauty of the curves of the car in 3D. He's a very nice man. I enjoy working with him, but the character he's playing is deliciously bad. You feel for her character. I mean, she's kind of a lost, almost like an orphan in the movie, who hasn't really been treated well in life. He encourages all his actors to come up with ideas and to bring it to the frame, and lets you dance, you know? And so I would like to make a lot of movies with Patrick.
She's a small-town diner waitress with a bad attitude, a bad mouth, and a heart of gold. She attracts Milton, played by Nicolas Cage, and they form an unlikely friendship and an unusual bond. I see why he is the movie star that he is. He's the most prepared actor I've about ever worked with, and he is really sensitive and very intelligent, and he brings it. When he shows up to work, he really brings it. He is giving it his all, and he is on it. Like, I mean, I was so impressed by him. For me, I'm in heaven in a car like that. I can't get enough of it. I'm a car girl. I love hot rods. I own them. I love them. I've always loved them. So I think it had me at Charger. In a weird way, when you're punching into the lens, or when you're spitting blood into the direction of the lens because you want to feel like you're spitting on the audience in the fourth row, or when you're backing your '69 Charger into the camera and making the front half of the audience in the theater jump out of their seats, when you're doing that, when you're filming those scenes, you feel like an active participant in the audience, and that's a really unusual thing I've never felt like on set before.
I finished it and I called my agent and I said, this is what I want you to find. I thought it was just the coolest read. Exciting, wild, freaky characters, driven, you know, not a special effects led sort of film, even though shoot it in 3D and just amazing car stuff, and I'm a muscle car guy, and you know, the description of the cars in the film are so cool. But because everybody, all the characters really have an emotional reason for being there. And when you put that on top of the whole thing, it's a different ballgame right off the bat. There's a guy that used to live in this world who is no longer part of this world. He didn't go up, he went to hell. These things happen when you deserve that, when you earn that, and when you're here. And he figured out a way how to get out for his own powerful reason. Nicolas Cage plays Milton, and he got out. You can't do that. There's an accountability of once you're there, you gotta stay. And I play the accountant, and when the rare circumstance happens that somebody gets out, somebody has to come in and take him back. I remember calling Patrick up a couple of months before we started shooting, and I said, you know, the very first time we see the accountant, he sees a woman, and when's the last time he saw a woman? Interesting to think about. When's the last time he heard music? When's the last time he did this or that? And my point is that there's really no reference point to how to play the guy. Figure it out, you know, fill in the blanks, use your imagination. And I had a great time talking to Patrick and Todd about that. And a great time as an actor, you know, having that sort of freedom. Nick would bring what Nick brings, which is something that's, you know, so original and inventive, and I would sit back and I'd look at him and I'd say, I knew he was going to do something that cool, because that's Nick, and this is Milton, and it's a great character. That world it's hard to describe, but it's it's tough and it's grungy and it's not where you want your kids to grow up and hang out. And that really lends itself to that sort of, you know, it's weird when you see things that kind of crackle with an energy that's dark. But you put that in a 3D aspect, and I think it's really exciting. We got a '69 Charger in here that's one of the stars of the show, and it's just so cool. And what's really cool about, you know, the Charger is that there's like 4 of them on set, so identical, and you look at them and you're like, wow, wow.